Wrestling and Dave Brown right along ringside, ready to go with another Big Dave Championship Wrestling. David?
Big Day is right. We got the King here today in a single match. We'll also be looking at the guy from Chippendales, New York, Tom Brandy, a little bit later on. We've got the Mighty Yankees coming in here, a tag team that has been all around down in Florida, all across the country. They have really made a lot of noise. You will see them here on Championship Wrestling today. A bit later on, a team called the Cuban Assassins will be here, and we've got a six-man tag match, which includes Max Payne, Gorgeous Gary Young, and Brick House Brown. Should be a big, big day here today.
Yeah, and on the other side of it, the interesting thing about that six-man tag is that we have the former AWA Southern Tag champs in Payne and Young, and the current Southern Tag champs in Ron and Don Bruce. So it ought to be something when we get down to it. We're going to be ready to go. We'll see young Mr. Tom Brandy out here in just one moment.
This week's big movie is Key Exchange. Brooke Adams and Ben.
Just a young man who is creating a lot of interest and attention, young Mr. Tom Brandy.
And a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Keith Eric wrestles out of Memphis, Tennessee. Tom Brandy at 235 pounds out of Chippendales, New York City. This is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Referee is Jerry Calhoun. Okay, bell time, and here we go with Tom Brandy on the left and Keith Eric on the right as they circle around. Referee Jerry Calhoun checking him over. Brandy giving him a little of that Chippendale move. That isn't one he learned in with Portland in the USFL. He learned that from Chippendale. Into the action side headlock. Keith Eric fires him into the rope. Brandy ducks under, coming off. Whoa! That might have been one of those Portland moves right there, though.
Yeah, kind of a flying shoulder as he nailed him and put Eric down. Back up on the feet, and Eric rakes across the eyes, crotches him, scoops him in the air, and a body slam dead center of the ring. But Brandy right back up again, and the same thing. Drop kick from Brandy. Hooks that arm, takes him over and down with it.
Boy, Keith Eric had a moment of glory there, but it didn't last long as Tom Brandy immediately took control again with a couple of drop kicks, and he put Keith Eric down to the mat. He dropped down on the arm there, got him on the lower arm. Keith Eric on the mat.
Brandy with the arm bar holding on to Keith Eric as he climbs back up to his feet. He winds him up once, and it's reversed on him, and Eric goes into an arm bar tight up on the shoulder. Tom Brandy still in good position, though, because he can maneuver, and that's not the way you want your opponent. Eric hanging on to the arm bar while Brandy takes him over and down, snapped him.
Tom Brandy with Keith Eric lying flat on the mat. Got him with the knee on the upper part of the arm. That hurts.
All the way over here it hurts. Brandy hanging on with the arm bar, and Eric still down. Goes for a head scissors and tips Brandy over and down underneath the rope. Holds on to the head scissors, and Brandy gonna kip up out of it. And he does.
Brandy back up on his feet. Keith Eric's complaining that he got out of that a little too easy, so therefore he must be using some illegal substance like grease or something to be able to slip out of that. Yeah. His strength, I think, is what it's called, Keith. Eric into the rope. Look at the drop kick. Brandy way up in the air.
Man, he tore his lips off. That 1 foot caught him bang. The referee gave him a 2 count on that, and what a drop kick from Tom Brandy. Takes one to the midsection, and Eric is not through by a long shot.
You got to watch Keith Eric. That's,
look at here.
He's got it down. Shoulders down for a 1 count. Eric reversing Brandy into the ropes. Tom Brandy just leaps over, ducks under. And it's Eric who ends up on the mat in the center of the ring. The count's at 2. Brandy gets it. A 3 count at 3 minutes, 8 seconds, and a victory for Tom Brandy over tough Keith Eric.
Boy, that's a good win for Tom because Eric has been in there with all of them, and he is now unhappy with himself as he ended up dropping that particular one to Tom Brandy. I guess one of the matches that folks were interested in as much as anything that I know of was the Jerry Lawler Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert match. We have some highlights. Let's take a look. And he's got Lawler at such an angle, the only thing Jerry, if he had the strength, could kick his feet. He can't really move away from there.
No, he can't. He's cinched in right now, and Gilbert's just teeing off on him.
Gilbert pounds away on the King.
He's still trapped in there, though.
He sure is. Now Lawler's trying to work that. He got one loop-a-loop around. He got another one, and it's finally loose. But Gilbert pounds him with a right. Lawler is loose. Here he goes. He's about to knock him right back into this match. And Lawler, watch the strap. When he pops that strap down, Katie bar the door. There it goes. The strap is down. Lawler with a right hand puts Gilbert on the mat.
Crowd's on their feet. They're going crazy, and Missy Hyatt looks very worried.
Eddie pounds into the mat face first.
Lawler's not through with them yet, I'll tell you that. Gilbert's begging for no more.
Lawler going for the pile driver. Remember, it's a no disqualification match, so he can do it. Has him up in the air. Drops down with Gilbert.
Drilled him into the mat.
Gilbert grabs his neck, Danny, and holding on. He really pounded him.
He sure did. Lawler's now going up to the top of the second rope. He's about to drill a fist into him. Misses.
Big right hand misses Gilbert. And Eddie signaling to Missy.
I don't know what he's telling her to do.
I don't know either, but she is saying, what do you want? What do you want? Give me your shoe. That's what he's saying. Off. Jerry Bryant comes over, grabs the hand and the shoe, and now Bryant's got it, and Missy is one shoe left.
One shoe left, and Lawler's starting to come around now.
Lawler came up off the deck, snapped the fire in Gilbert's face, and Eddie Gilbert rolling around the ring.
Looks like Lawler wants a piece of Missy Hyatt, too, as he's coming over to us.
Here comes Brother Doug out. Woo! Man, you can smell the hair. Woo!
Smell it right here as the fans gather around to get a close-up look at Eddie Gilbert's face.
10 count, and Eddie Gilbert has been counted out. The winner, Jerry the King Lawler. Some days are better than others. And here he comes, the King. And he has got to be feeling about 110% better, as they say. Yowza, I love it. Man, I'll tell you.
Lance, what's the old saying, brother? When you play with fire, you're going to get burned, and I guess Eddie Gilbert knows that right now. Eddie Gilbert, you came out here on television, you told everybody that you were the legend slayer. You told everybody that you had put the King out of professional wrestling. Well, where are you today, Eddie Gilbert? Where are you today, huh? The King is still here, brother, alive and kicking. And conveniently, Eddie Gilbert is absent today, Lance. I can assure you that. He's going to be absent for a long, long time. Eddie Gilbert, before you talk about slaying legends, brother, you better sit down and think for a long, long time before you jump on this legend again. I can assure you that.
Well, there he goes to the ring. We're going to see him in action right now. I think Eddie forgot to check out whether that dragon that he slayed could fight back or not, and he found out as the King hits the ring, and here comes his opponent, ready for the next bout, Dave.
It'll be one fall, 10-minute time limit out of New York City at 225 pounds. That's Tommy Punk over on the left of your screen, and from Memphis, Tennessee, 234 pounds, the King, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 10-minute time limit. The referee's Jerry Calhoun.
I tell you, he's got to be on a high right now, and if I were Punk, I wouldn't be looking forward to this match too much.
King feeling good. Should be right ready to go. He's got Punk back in the corner. He's wasted no time going to work on Tommy Punk. Lawler has been on a very limited or no schedule for several weeks due to being burned himself by hot stuff Eddie Gilbert a few weeks ago. He's back raring to go. There's a cover. 1, 2. This one is over.
How about that?
33 seconds of action and a win for the King.
Would you say that Punk has been rocked?
I think so.
Boy, boy, boy. The King comes in and blazes his opponent, Tommy Punk, with a quick 33-second victory. We've got more action, and we're going to get back to it in just a moment. Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum. The big action comes in under the banner of the Renegade Rampage Tournament is back on. You better believe it. We've got a total of 4 Renegade Rampage matches plus a couple of others, and some of the Renegade matches are very special. There's a U.S. Junior Heavyweight title match where Ken Wayne defends his new title against the Cuban Assassin #2. Also, there's a CWA Heavyweight Championship match where Ron Bruce will be going against Big Max Payne. And we're talking about a cowboy boot match. Eddie Marlin, Tommy Gilbert wearing cowboy boots in, and brother, it is legal to pull them off and bang the other guy around with them. Extra added match. That's Doug Gilbert and Gary Young going against Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis. Those are just some of the action bouts that will be coming up. Renegade Rampage night on Wednesday night. And for the first 500 folks that get there, how about these beautiful Renegade caps are going to be given away Wednesday night. Make your plans right now to be there.
Head-splitting, below the belt, non-stop mayhem. It's madmen, maniacs, and lunatics. A 60-minute human demolition derby exploding with drop kicks, ring post collisions, high-flying body slams, and audience-shattering brawling. Madmen, maniacs, and lunatics. Your ringside ticket to all the below-the-belt, non-stop, outrageous action. Feel the thunder. A must for your video collection. To order your Madmen, Maniacs, and Lunatics video, call 1-800-441-2800 and have your credit card ready. That's 1-800-441-2800. To order by mail, send $29.95 plus $5 shipping and handling to Madmen Video, P.O. Box 3020, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08034. Sorry, no CODs.
Okay, we're going to be back up in the ring with Doug Gilbert in action, the Hitman. But before we get to that, I want to call out here promoter Eddie Marlin. Now, it's been a while since we've been able to say that, and I am delighted to see it. Eddie, how you doing, bud?
Lance.
Yeah.
You know, I told you a few weeks ago I was too old to wrestle. I'd get in there and fight, and I think I finally proved to Tommy Gilbert the old man had a little fight left in him. Now, as long as it's a Gilbert in this area, I just don't feel like that I can do the matchmaking like it should be done. So I'm going to leave that up to Randy Hales. But I'll still be involved in the promotions. I'll be at the towns, and all my duties that I have to do, I'll try to perform them, the best I can. Now, Eddie Gilbert seemed like Jerry Lawler pretty well took care of him. He's out of it. And I proved to Tommy Gilbert that I had a little fight in him. And Dougie Gilbert's still around. So, you know, I just can't do it right. I got in the ring, and it was hard every night when I'd get in there. I want to thank all my friends and fans.
You listen to me, Eddie Marlin. You're the whole cause that my brother got burned. You protect Jerry Lawler. You always have protected Jerry Lawler. And I demand that he is fired or suspended. You've seen him throw the ball of fire right in his face. I watched the agony and the pain when I carried my brother back to the dressing room. I will not stand for this at all. You're going to have to do something, Doug Gilbert. You can come out here and say what you want to, but you're in no position to demand anything, young man. Who watched Jerry Lawler when he was in pain and agony? Who watched my son-in-law when he was in pain and agony? Who watched... Wait till I say something. Who watched Randy Hill when he was burned? I watched him. Yeah, you watched him, but how many people was Jerry Lawler burned? You protect him. This promotion has protected him. Yes, sir. You're protecting him. You have always protected him. You always will. You protect him. You will not fine him. You will not suspend him. You will not fire him. I will not stand for this, and we will not have it. That's all it comes down to is right there. That's the point.
That's the same old story I've been hearing for so long.
No, you sit there and stand.
Hey, come on. Give me somebody else. Get out of it. Come on. Now, come on. Get out of it. Get out. All right, you guys. Now, come on. You're busting these glasses out of here and taking the lids right out. Come on, Tommy. All right, now, Tommy, come on. Hey, put the boot down and quit it. Will you quit that kind of stuff? You're going to be through here forever. Hey, will you give me somebody out here? Tommy Gilbert comes off the ropes and nails Eddie with that boot. He's bleeding. Here comes Jeff Gilbert. Nails Dougie Gilbert. Takes that drop. Pounds Gilbert down on both sides. Dug down again. Here comes gorgeous Gary Young. Young jumps in and jumps on Jeff Jarrett. With Gilbert and gorgeous Gary Young, while Tommy Gilbert is over beating on Eddie Marlin. We need some more help out here. Just take it on out. Gary Young beating away on Jeff Jarrett while Eddie Marlin being abused. Hey, what are you doing with that bell? Come on, Doug. Get that bell back in here. Man, that thing... They've got the big bell up in there. Gary Young picks it up. You can't hit it. From behind, Billy Travis comes out. Nails Gary Young and Doug Gilbert. They were going to mash him with that.
No, you shut your mouth.
All right.
You listen to me. This ain't over. It will never be over, Lance.
Yeah, well,
I don't care what you say or anybody else.
You're going to get yours. What are you doing involved in it? Let's take a break now while we get Eddie out of the ring, and we'll be back in just a moment. 60 quick seconds, my friend, to tell you that first, next Thursday, April the 14th in Olyctic, Indiana at the Community Center, Championship Wrestling is coming in with a big card. You can save $1 by getting your tickets in advance. That's worth doing. Friday, April the 15th, Greenville, Kentucky at the Muhlenberg Central High School. The action there is going to be hot and heavy. That's next Friday in Greenville, Kentucky. Okay, Wednesday night. Let me quickly run over the bouts that are going to take place. Renegade Rampage night with the first 500 folks to get Renegade hats. Boy, they are dandies, too. Tom Brandy against Brickhouse Brown in an explosive match. U.S. Junior title with Ken Wayne defending against Cuban Assassin #2. Don Bruce against the Assassin #1. Max Payne defends the CWA CWA title against Ron Bruce. Cowboy boot match when Eddie Marlin and Tommy Gilbert lace them up, and it's legal to use those boots in the ring. And an added grudge match with Doug Gilbert and gorgeous Gary Young against Jeff
Carry a vendetta so far. They pick up that bell. It'd have killed him if that bell came down there. Absolutely. That just shows you the kind of mentality you're dealing with. They picked up that bell and we're going to slam that thing down on you. If Billy hadn't come running in there, I just don't believe anybody with that kind of mentality.
Exactly, Lance. You're talking about here mentality. Them guys don't have mentality. Doug Gilbert, Eddie came out here and he said that he was going back to being promoter and that this thing was going to be over with. Well, Doug Gilbert and Gary Young, Tommy Gilbert, this thing is far from over. Billy Travis has stood by me for 2 years, and, brother, he ain't stopping today. Hey, we got a match against somebody else this week.
Big Bad Jim and Terry.
We'll get anybody else out here to change that card, because I want the match, myself and Billy Travis, against Doug Gilbert and Gary Young. Eddie Marlin, I guarantee, can take care of Tommy Gilbert, but myself and Travis are going to take care of Doug Gilbert and Gary Young.
Well, we'll have to... Lance, see Randy Hales, but I'm sure he'll agree to it.
We've been together a long time. Gary Young, you're sticking your nose right into Gilbert's business, too. Well, let me tell you something, guys. We're going to take care of you. We get that match changed. Eddie Marlin's going to take you here. Eddie, okay?
Lance, you need to get ice.
Well, wait a minute. I got one thing to say. I come out here and tell you I'm quitting. I'm not going to get in the ring anymore. Well, I lied. You can't quit when you're laying flat on your back in a pool of blood and the guy that does this to you walks off laughing. Well, let me tell you something, Tommy Gilbert. You walked off today laughing, but young man, I will get my chance to walk off and look down at you and laugh. Now, you've done this twice. Twice he's busted my head open with a cowboy boot. And, young man, it hurts, and it hurts bad. And I want you to know how it feels for a cowboy boot to land upside that head of yours. I remember a few years ago as a little sneaky manager. I like Tommy Gilbert, sneaky, coming up behind you. He was handy with a cowboy boot, and he was run out of town with a cowboy boot match. So, Tommy Gilbert, put on your cowboy boots. I got a pair of cowboy boots. I'll put them on, and we'll put a cowboy boot match on there, Tommy. And then if you can bust my head open, it'll be legal. But it'll also be legal for me to bust that big head of yours open, young man.
You need to get that taken care of.
Wow. The main thing I need to take care of is Tommy Gilbert.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll check with Randy Hales and see about it. Let's go to the ring. We've got a match coming up here right now. David, let's go to the ring.
Coming in right now, a couple of young guys out of Arkansas, Doug Dancing and Alan Reynolds, will be stepping up onto the ring apron. They weigh in at a total weight of 450 pounds. Got their work cut out for them today. Big tag team coming in here right now at a total weight of 550 pounds. Out of parts unknown, wrestling under a mask, it is the Mighty Yankees. And as we said earlier in the program, these guys' reputation has been made all over the country. And here they are today to battle Doug Dancing and Alan Reynolds. Jerry Calhoun will be the referee in the match.
We got a couple of specimens they're going against today. They're young fellas. They're not near the size the Yankees are. But I think you're going to see some very interesting wrestling. Alan Reynolds starts out. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Didn't get very far.
Mighty Yankee number one. Well, this guy is huge. He takes Reynolds over to the rope, using the top rope to choke him, and then flips him right back into the middle of the ring. Body slam by the Yankees. Alan Reynolds back up on his feet, but helped on his feet and held there by the Mighty Yankee. They make a tag, and they double team. Alan Reynolds hits the mat.
Boy, Reynolds, right from the first tie-up, has been in trouble, and these are a couple of tough guys to be in trouble against. They're bad enough as it is, but when they get that, look at that big suplex. Takes him over, got a count of two, but that's all. Reynolds still battling to try to get back into it. Down on the deck he goes. Allen being pounded around by the Mighty Yankee.
Not only was that a suplex the Yankee hit him with, he flipped right over into a cover so that he was able to hold the shoulders down and might have had a 3 count, but he broke it himself. doubling up in the corner there. One of the Yankees holding Reynolds in the corner while the other one works him over.
Snap Mayer right over the shoulder and drops with a knee. These guys living up to everything in the world that we've heard about them. We have not seen this mighty Yankee team. And, boy, let me tell you, they do have a reputation and a half. Look at them pound on Reynolds. Allen knocked back into the ropes and whipped across the ring. Clothesline puts him down. Over there, Doug Dancing comes into the ring, and the referee will run him out while the Yankees change.
Yeah, the Yankees changed. I don't think they made a tag, but it doesn't matter. They got the fresh man in there. Meanwhile, Doug Dancing, who was trying to get in to help his partner, Alan Reynolds, sent back to the corner. Down as one. He picked him up at just before the 2 count fell.
Said he wasn't ready for the pin, and boy, they have done. Can he get it? Yeah, he got the tag. Here's Doug Dancing. He is fresh. He's the shortest of the guys in the ring, but this son of a gun is built. Takes a shot from the foot, squares off with a mighty Yankee. Caught in the side headlock. Whips the Yankee into the ropes. And as the Yankee held up and then banged him with that right hand.
He held onto the ropes to stop the momentum and then pounded him with the right hand.
What a good move, too. He went like he was going with a hammerlock and leg scissor Dancing. Pitched him down on his face. Tag, and here's the other Yankee taking over. Little snap suplex, and Doug Dancing is undergoing the same kind of fate that Alan Reynolds did. Big team, big reputation, and right at the moment they're living up to it. Caught in that front face lock, he snaps it into another of those tight suplexes. Gets a count of 2, and Dancing takes a right hand to the head.
Yankee picked him up again at the 2 count. That's at least 4 times in the match that they have had a probable 3 count and a win. And they have elected not to take the 3 count.
Trying to impress everybody, no doubt about that. And by golly, I'll tell you, they have. They are big and rugged, and they continue to work on Doug Dancing, who is down in the middle of the ring as the knee comes down 3 straight times. 1, 2, and again he picks him up, Dave.
Got that unfortunate combination in the mighty Yankees and a tag team that can wrestle. Boy, they have been impressive in their raw wrestling ability, and they also have a disregard for the rules. Boy, that's tough when you get that kind of combination. Look at him using the right fist on Dancing in the corner, flips him out of there, locks that chin from behind. And the mighty Yankees have really been putting on a demonstration of tough wrestling.
Tag again, and the other Yankee takes over. Ooh, to the midsection. Dancing picked up in the air. Backbreaker down. The referees made certain they did the tag this time. And they were close enough to do so, and off the ropes and down with the arm, flipping Dancing all the way over. Let's see if he goes for it. 1, 2, yes. Going to take the tag, the 1, 2, 3 count, rather. And in very impressive style, the mighty Yankees come through with a victory over Alan Reynolds and Doug Dancing. You know, they really never got into it from the very first.
No, that's true. 4 minutes, 53 seconds. The overpowering mighty Yankees take the victory here.
They got the win by double teaming on Dancing after the backbreaker. He held him out. The big arm slams him off, and man, oh man, what a victory for the mighty Yankees. Back in just a moment. Oh my, do I see a smile from ear to ear on this young man. Here's a guy that we have known in good times and bad. We've been friends, and we haven't been too friendly, but I got to take it. All of that behind us, I got to tell you right now, I couldn't be happier for Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond. And if you will forgive me the saying so, you'll upset the Midnight Rockers and have got the World Tag Belts, Pat.
Yeah, I was real pleased with that. Me and Paul, you know, we've been working out hard, and they were pretty overrated, you know, so Me and Paul went in there and we fought pretty hard and we beat them and we upset them.
I'll tell you one thing, I don't care how it came about. This is the proof of the pudding right here. And you know this. You've been around long enough, Pat, to know that this is only the beginning. You won them. Now the tough part starts because everybody in the world will be trying to take them away from you.
That's right. We got these guys called the Cuban Assassins coming up, and I think that they're pretty overrated, too. I heard a lot about them as I was traveling around the world this time on this tour. So I think that, you know, we might have a tough time, but I think we'll take them.
Okay, good luck to you. Pat, again, you be sure and tell Paul congratulations. Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond, the new AWA World Tag Champions. And I got to tell you, they're a scrapping pair to say the least. Let's go to the ring. We're ready for the next match, David.
Coming up to the ring right now, team of William the Freezer Thompson. Huge William the Freezer Thompson and his partner Ken Raper. And coming in here, whoa, now, mean-looking bunch, the Cuban Assassins. Thompson's out of Arkansas, Ken Raper out of Memphis. Together they weigh 515 pounds. The Cuban Assassins out of Havana, Cuba, at a total weight of 466. One fall, 10-minute time limit match. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Yeah, I remember the Cuban Assassins.
Yeah.
What a rugged son of a guns they are. Bell time, and we're off and running. These guys will jump you 6 ways for Sunday, and they start right off with Ken Raper. Good move. Raper missed the drop kick. Boy, he had a nice leapfrog and went for the drop kick and missed. Snapped in the air. Down goes Ken Raper. The Assassins, another team like the mighty Yankees that have quite a reputation around the world.
Oh, look at this guy. Raper ran right into the arm. Ooh. Oh, this guy's vicious. Makes the tag on his partner. The Cuban Assassin. Ken Raper fired into the ropes. The Assassin didn't wait for him to come off the ropes. He went in there after him. Here's Big William the Freezer. William Thompson. Oh, look at that. The Cuban picked him up on his shoulders in a fireman carry. He didn't get far with him, but he dropped him down to the mat.
I thought he was going with a fireman's carry throw, but what he did was to do a back slam on him and powered him into the mat, a chokehold. Their action has been non-stop since they hit the ring, the Cuban Assassin.
He's got that hand wrapped around his throat till the referee threatens to start a disqualification proceeding. Cuba has him down, counts it 2, 3.
Got him.
It's over. 1 minute 38 seconds. And the Cuban Assassin living up to their reputation, too, I think we have to say, as they come in here and take the measure of William the Freezer Thompson and Ken Raper. Again, the time, 1 minute 38.
Don't think we've seen the last of those gentlemen by a long shot. The Cuban Assassin. Okay, right now it's time for us to jump into the Renegade Rampage trivia part of it. This is where we ask you a trivia question. You write down and send in whatever you think your answer is. If you happen to be one of the successful ones who answer it correctly, there will be a drawing of only the correct answers, and one will be a weekly winner. The big thing about it, it goes for 18 weeks, and the 18 winners, there will be a final trivia champion selected, and that champion will be flown to the site of the finals of the Renegade Rampage. They'll be put up, treated in royal style. In addition to that $500 in spending money, it should be one great day to remember. The question that we will go into first was an answer, rather, for the question that we had a couple of weeks ago, and that was, what two brothers held the NWA World Heavyweight titles? And this is the Funks. That's correct. Dory Jr. and Terry Funk. The correct answer, and the correct answer came from Marianna, Arkansas. Grace Green, you are our weekly winner for the Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest for this particular week. Grace Green of Marianna, Arkansas. Grace, you'll be getting your prizes, the mugs and the T-shirts and hats. That's the weekly prize. But more important, it will qualify you for the grand
contest, and we'll have a winner out of that. Let's take a look now and see what this week's trivia question from the Renegade Rampage is. First, remind you, take a look at this very closely. What late-night network talk show did Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman appear on together? You keep that in your mind. If you have the answer to it, you're going to have to write it down and send it to our address. You must have Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest on your entry, WMC TV, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis 38104. Once again, Renegade Rampage Trivia Contest, WMC TV, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee 38104. The question again, what late-night network program did Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman appear on together? Put your entry in the mail, and good luck. We're going to take time out. Be back with more action coming up in just a moment. Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum, the big action comes in under the banner of the Renegade Rampage Tournament is back on. You better believe it. We've got a total of 4 Renegade Rampage matches plus a couple of others, and some of the Renegade matches are very special. There's a U.S. Junior Heavyweight title match where Ken Wayne defends his new title against the Cuban Assassin #2. Also, there's a CWA Heavyweight Championship match where Ron Bruce will be going against Big Max Payne. And we're talking about a cowboy boot match. Eddie Marlin, Tommy Gilbert wearing cowboy boots in, and brother, it is legal to pull them off and bang the other guy around with them. Extra added match. That's Doug Gilbert and Gary Young going against Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis. Those are just some of the action bouts that will be coming up. Renegade Rampage night on Wednesday night. And for the first 500 folks that get there, how about these beautiful Renegade caps are going to be given away Wednesday night. Make your plans right now to be there. Should be quite a battle here. I think we're going to have some side attention in here because we've got Brickhouse and Gary and Max. And Max and Gary still are hot about the fact that the Bruce brothers won those tag titles. So I think we may be seeing a little of that.
Have you ever seen 3 finer wrestlers in all your life? Is right there. Gorgeous Gary, Max Payne, Brickhouse. I just feel the excitement when I get around with people like that.
I thought he was looking the other side of the ring there, where it's Ron and Don Bruce and their partner Scott Steiner. Scott out of Detroit, Ron and Don out of Apopka, Florida. Total weight, 748 pounds. At 773 on the other side of the ring. Out of Salt Lake City, Utah, it is Max Payne. From Houston, Texas, gorgeous Gary Young. And from Miami, Florida, Brickhouse Brown. 6-man tag action to the expiration of time. Here we go, says Jerry Calhoun.
Oh, what can you say?
Okay, Scott Steiner is starting off against gorgeous Gary Young. And Steiner, we have not seen much of him, but what we have seen of him, very impressed. A well-built young man from Detroit, Michigan.
Now, why don't you ever say anything like that about any of my boys?
You just don't listen very well, brother. Scott Steiner bangs him out of the corner.
I don't want to say you're shaded by any means, Brother Lance. Who am I to cast anything on anyone? But I just feel like that you just don't have the spirit like you need to.
Scott Steiner with a standing side headlock on gorgeous Gary Young.
Come on, brother.
Interestingly enough, the 2 guys out of the entire 6 with the least area hold the AWA Southern Tag Team Championship belts. We're talking about the Bruce brothers. But boy, have they come along.
Well, they're not going to have them long, Lance. That's all I can tell. Because, you know, one thing my good book teaches is sharing. And we're going to let them have them a couple of weeks. And we just want to share it.
I see. Well, that's very nice to share. I don't sense the same spirit of cooperation in Max Young and gorgeous Gary Young. Whoa! Big Max misses the elbow, and up is Steiner and drops an elbow of his own.
I guess I need to get over and see about my congregation.
It looks like they need a little help. And they'll probably get it from you.
Don't forget now, we still got those condominiums at Wrestling USA. The donations are coming in wonderfully, and we're going to be able to break ground real soon.
I'm glad you brought it up. Couldn't have made the day without it, Brother Ernest. In the ring right now is Ron Bruce. If we get a chance, I got to tell you a funny story that Jerry Lawler told me about the Bruce brothers in the interview. We'll see if we get an opportunity. Identical twins, as you have noticed, or maybe you thought it was just one guy. Brickhouse Brown with a backdrop, and Ron Bruce bounces down off the center of the ring. The referee gave clearance on that one. Said he used the broad arm, and legal it was. Brickhouse tags the gorgeous Gary Young. Young with a vicious foot into the midsection on Ron Bruce.
Young, the big guy out of Houston, Texas, he is tough. And not only that, he's big. He can match size with Ron and Don Bruce. Not many wrestlers can do that because they stand about 6'6". Oh, into the knee. Brickhouse Brown pulled up a knee over in the corner.
Referee's back was to Brickhouse, and so he took that opportunity. There's another knee, an even larger one. We've got about 2 minutes of wrestling. Oh, we got more now. Yeah, okay. Max Payne with a reverse face lock on Ron Bruce. And Bruce pounding that elbow.
Ooh, great big clothesline. Yeah, Max Payne with the body slam on Ron Bruce. Gary Young in. Young fires him into the rope. Bruce ducks under and presses Gary Young down. One. Well, he just got a 1 count. Good move, though, by Ron Bruce. It looked like Gary Young was taking control. Boy, he just slammed his head into the turnbuckle there. Quick turn of events for Ron, who was in control. Suddenly, he's not in control. Brickhouse Brown with a body slam on him. Dropped with the upper arm, but Ron had moved out of the way. Ron's looking for his brother in the corner, and he gets that tag. Here is Don Bruce.
Don takes it over, and it's hard to tell the difference. Not only in their look, but in their styles. They are classy young men. Big brawl in the center of the ring. We got all 6 of them in there. Brickhouse and Scott Steiner and the Bruce brothers with Payne and Young. I figured that they would end up with some kind of a brawl going. Payne goes in, clothesline, Max goes down to the floor. And we're just about out of time. Steiner over in the corner with Brickhouse Brown. We're going to have to call this one to a halt as our time is running out. And there's the 6 of them in there. We're ringing the bell, and we got to, that's it. We got to go. Take a break. We'll be back in a moment. On Championship Wrestling, we have a little segment with Brother Ernest called Quiet Time. Did I choose my words carefully?
I think that's a pretty careful choosing there. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about that.
For a unique experience, take a look at Brother Ernest Quiet Time.
Oh, and welcome once again. Isn't it wonderful that we're having this quiet time together? But I've got a problem, and I need to tell you about it. You know, it saddens me a great deal to see no contributions coming in. You know, probably one of the biggest things that saddens me is the Jerry Lawler, the Jarretts, and the Marlins. Oh, they're not going to be on the great Wrestling USA ship. And I don't want you to be left out. So keep those cards and letters coming in. Just, I look in the mail every day, and it's kind of chintzy, and I know you're not chintzy. And I know with the first of the month coming up, I want you to count Brother Ernest in on your budget this month. So I'm going to let you go this time. Once again, I want you to put your hands on the television set and let me feel what you're thinking. Be sure and let me hear from you this week. Be sure and enclose something that you want to help me build Wrestling USA with. In order to keep this show, I must have those donations. So once again, I'll part with you, me, and the good book.
Well, it really wasn't quiet enough.
No, it was far too noisy.
No conversation would have been just about right. How about our action today, David?
Well, we had an interesting day here today in the ring. We had Tom Brandy out of Chippendales, New York City, going against Keith Eric. Keith Eric, someone that you can't overlook because, as I think you mentioned during the match, this guy has wrestled the best of them and has come close to some major upsets. Brandy went with him in there. It was not a pushover match by any stretch for Tom Brandy, but he did show that he is, in fact, a championship caliber wrestler in getting a victory.
I think it's a very good win to have one over Keith Eric like that, because this guy's not easy. He doesn't quit, man. He just keeps coming back at you.
Brandy continuing to look good around the territory. Then,
in more ways than one.
That's true. Okay. Return of the King, Jerry Lawler, who was coming in here today feeling mighty, mighty good after several weeks of having to recuperate from a burn delivered by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. The King able to get even. He was back in here today triumphant after getting even with him, and stepped in there against Tommy Punk in a match in which it was just all Jerry Lawler. It didn't last long, only went 33 seconds, and I think part of that was maybe carryover for the way that Lawler had been feeling that thing. He was back and ready to go again.
He was high, really ready to go at it, and the son of a gun is looking great, and he proved it in there today, no question about it.
Got a good victory in just about a little over a half minute. Then we had all kind of strange things going on out here with the Gilberts, with coming out Tommy with a cowboy boot, and Doug, and they get Eddie Marlin all cut up, and they end up with a whole thing going on there. Haven't heard the end of that, I guarantee you.
Not by a long shot.
Be some paybacks coming on that one. You can almost count on it. Mighty Yankees in against Doug Dancing and Alan Reynolds. Mighty Yankees, a new team in this territory, but as we said during the match, they've made a reputation all over, and I was impressed. Unfortunately, I was impressed because, as I said, they not only can they wrestle, they disregard the rules, and that can be a deadly combination, especially in championship-type matches. So
yeah, there's no question. They showed, not that they by any means stayed with the rules all the way, but they showed that they can wrestle. And as you point out, boy, when you put those two together, you got some kind of real problem. And another thing, add the fact that they've got size, add the fact they've got experience in there, and they're going to be some tough competition for anybody.
Look out
in that ring.
Look out. They are coming. And another new team, too, the Cuban Assassins. Now, didn't know as much about them. We had heard about them, and actually, I think they had been here before some time ago.
True.
And since then, they have just been going all around, and well, they're impressive, too.
Boy, did you notice that it was nonstop? I mean, from the time the son of a gun started, they just stayed right on top. Bam, 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 bam. They just kept right on the freezer, and Ken Raper in there, and until he ended up getting the victory on it. I don't know how long. I don't remember exactly how long that one was.
It was about a minute and a half of non-stop action. The Cuban Assassins do take it, and you're right. It was just pounding all the way on Thompson and Ken Raper. Then, it was a six-man tag team match. In this one, you had all sorts of little side things going on because of the bad blood on either side of the ring, and it ended up with everybody in the ring at a couple of points and all sorts of things going on. It ends up with no winner, which will go into the record books, but lots of action in that six-man tag team match.
Yeah, a lot of times the guys that are involved in it walk away with a feeling because nothing came out victorious or otherwise, and the fans love it.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to get out of here, son of a gun. We'll be back next week with more championship wrestling. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.